G'day, ZiggyD here, finally with my Day 1 PTR 1.0.7 patch first impressions. In this video I'm going to be talking a bit about PvP. Now I hadn't been able to get on all day because of we've been travelling and things like that, sorting out a new house and all that jazz. But I was finally able to get on, and I wasn't expecting much from PvP. I was expecting to get bored pretty quickly. To be honest, I really wanted a matchmaking system in PvP, so I thought, you know, this might be interesting. I have some ideas of how we can make it fun in the future, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy my first time with it that much. Of course, I've been reading Reddit and the forums and all that, and seeing everyone, you know, bemoaning the fact that it's just one-shot spam. So I didn't have high expectations, but I had a ton of fun. So I went into it thinking, you know, I'll just play for 15 minutes, get some footage so I can have a bit of a talk about it and talk about more about the future of PvP, because that's initially what I wanted to talk about. But I ended up playing for like over an hour with this one guy here, Johan, and it was incredibly fun. It is very one-shot oriented, but this kind of has a strange effect, I feel, where gear, like slight differences in gear or even moderate differences in gear, aren't that important. Pretty much everyone's going to be one-shotting each other. That's a fact. So instead, you can focus on other things in gear, like utility, like being able to use your abilities more, or speed, or even I think possibly people will be able to focus on the defensive side a little bit to be able to, you know, block one shot or avoid some CC and things like that. But because everyone's just one-shotting each other, the main focus is on the skills and how you use them. So I had a lot of fun just playing with this one guy, and he would change up his build a little bit and I'd change up my build. The Witch Doctor versus Demon Hunter matchup, which we played most of the time. You also played a bit of Monk and Demon Hunter. But the Witch Doctor versus Demon Hunter matchup is very interesting because of the pets and the way that we both have homing abilities. Obviously things like smoke screen timing is crucial, and interacting that with your preparation and vaulting and different CC abilities, and, you know, having the homing abilities with against the pets and working them out in a way that actually still works and things like that. It was very interesting, and I eventually found some specs that were pretty effective against pet builds, and it just seems like there's a lot of depth to it to be discovered. Now, I don't know if this opinion will be very popular, because it seems like it's very popular at the moment to say that PvP is incredibly unfun because it's just one shots, and people will be like, "Oh, I got bored of it in 10 minutes because it was just one shots and that's all. That's boring." But I actually think this leads to some really fun gameplay, and I think despite PvP being very bare bones, and that's okay, there's a lot of potential for it in the future. So Blizzard said basically that they don't plan on balancing for this PvP, and I actually think that's the right approach. I think it was really up to the community to take this bare bones PvP, the ability to fight with each other, and then create our own metagame around it, pretty much like what we've always done with these sorts of games. In the past, it's always been about the player base creating the fun from these PvP. And whether you liked Diablo 2 PvP or not, in Diablo 3 PvP, we can do things in the future that'll make it even more fun, even if high-level gear versus high-level gear isn't fun. I think there will be a bit of a niche for people just with really high-level gear wanting to, you know, to see how it feels against other people with really high-level gear. A bit of, you know, EP contest going on. But I think that okay, I'm just going to lay out some ideas here, because I've been thinking about this a fair bit on the drive home today. I think we can do things like low-level gear versus low-level gear. Maybe have under level 30 gear, all legendaries under 30. Blue gear versus blue gear, so only even vendor bought gear, or you're being restricted to like magical items only, means that everyone's gearing is going to be a lot more similar, and there's going to be a lot less one-shots going on. Could even have white gear versus white gear setups, and even completely low-level PvP. Now, I think sockets come in at around level 18, if I remember correctly. It might be level 13, but finding out that level, and then one level before that, so let's say level 17 max PvP. So people can get whatever gear they want for up to that level. So you could have insanely rolled level 17 things, but because there's no sockets, you can't socket in the best sorts of gems and things like that. People aren't really going to be able to one-shot each other all that much, I don't think. It'll depend on how the gearing works out. And we'll only have limited skill choices as well, so that could create a very fun and interesting PvP dynamic. So there's a lot of different things we can do with just placing arbitrary restrictions on ourselves and setting up even like tournaments or just dueling matches with our friends or other people, either through you know, subreddits on Reddit and forums and things like that, and finding these people and, you know, saying let's get 10 people together to have blue gear versus blue gear tournaments in dueling. And I think that could be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, I was very happy to be pleasantly surprised by how fun this was, and I think I'm going to make a lot more videos on PvP. I might make a few in the PTR, and then after the PTR I might look at getting some things together like what I've talked about, these arbitrary restrictions, and having some dueling based around that. Maybe get a little bit of a dueling community going on, because yeah, I was surprised how fun it is. It's really satisfying, and trying to, you know, avoid the other person's shots and use your own abilities well, and changing your abilities to counter their abilities and things like that. A lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. So count this as a positive video in amongst all of the negative ones you're probably seeing at the moment. And maybe you've had fun too, but you feel like you should not be enjoying it that much. But just take it for what it is. Very bare bones. Something Blizzard's just sort of thrown in there. I know a lot of people are disappointed about the lack of arena and something more, much more after all of this time. But I'm happy with this. It gives us something for us to work with, and I think that's really cool. So that's it for this particular video. I'll try and get some more PvP videos to you pretty soon, just covering a few different ideas, and maybe even just cast some matches or something like that. And I also plan on covering the crafting a lot in the PTR, so that'll probably be something I work on tomorrow a bit. So that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.